Hi Kiki, how are you? Today we are testing the Rock Bookie. We have tried it in various conditions. I still haven't achieved what I wanted with the machine. For now, we have snow and slush. This machine isn't suited for rocky terrain. We'll wait for better weather. The main criticism of this machine is the rocket holder screws and related issues. The flitting is too small. There I put brass wedges, we put plastic screws, 3, 5 or even 4 now, and we still get to the machine. Of course it's cheap on the one hand, 250, €00, but if we have to add a pair of rocket holders option at 40, €00 alu, we are at 290, €00. There you have to ask yourself the question, because you will still maybe bad luck cap of a morto. On the other hand, be careful, it's taken as a guarantee right away, there's no problem. You can pull off a turret, right? Because, well, we make the gorets an aluminum turret, we would have folded it on the fart we made. There we tear off the turret. It's a lot of work to change because it's a whole piece. It would have been nice if it was a piece added bolted on it. For the strength, it could have been worse. The fixed violets that deliver you with, for the front axle angles, it doesn't fit. It's too long. So you're going to put the options. 312, 305, €300. 20 bill. Not great. There's an issue with the brain sewer being too tight. Loosen it thoroughly to avoid damaging the plastic brain rudder, which acts as a fuse. When the brain breaks after replacing with aluminum, they'll ask if you changed the rudder. Yes, I did, but I shouldn't have. So a small rudder again. So at the AliExpress price, €2, the same rudders sold in France, rebadged by different brands, 5, 6, €7 the invoice. And there, think carefully about the terrain you have, because this thing is light and can ride on a carpeted circuit, no problem. It can still go 1 or 8 circuit, but it is not ready for the circuit. His work angles pose a problem. There we bridged the suspect with risers. There you see PLs with the risers plus the adjustable connecting rods. We have a train which remains stable with the angle. That's not what we want in the forest. I left them on because I drove both on the carpet and I'm going back there. Okay, the same. We bridged a little at the back too. We'll even bridle it a little more, we'll see. I'm going to leave that because it makes me laugh. And so I was saying that for about €300 there is a viscous problem. Carson Virus 4.1 at €250. Currently it is a real 108 with a 4068 engine in 4S. Gear A may be a bit big, but it rolls. Well, you're going to buy a smaller sprocket, low 5. Zero brain is fine, not the brain line is fine, suspension is fine. If you take the 4H version, you are at 270, 280 alu. There you will need 4 additional springs, VP Pro 020, C0 the 4 BIM. You are on the same budget, except the Carson will be more comfortable on the track. This one will be more comfortable in the forest. If you already have 3s, you are limited in budget and you do not have adequate terrain to ride. In any case, a 100% real bugger is the one who will be the most comfortable. It is safe in the forest, while the Virus will be more comfortable in the meadow or on a circuit. What? We are at this point with the machine. We have the nuts and carnets which are marked. We have 4 packs. Now we are starting to have play on the nuts. Between the nuts and the axes, it's still okay, eh? Despite that, I put my eyes harder than harder. Look, it's mega harder, eh? That's for sure. So we have 30,000 in front, 60,000 in the center, and we left the little fat that goes with it. Result? Well, it's still super relaxed. We still have a lot of power that leaves the camp in front. Came out of a corner, we raised the parpati, and it's grinding here and we can't get out of the corner. But it's obviously a relatively simpler drive, eh? That's it. So we're going to return to the carpet like that. If I can return to the TTRC 90 with the Rilsons too, we'll do it. And if not, we'll open them and we'll go to the forest. We'll see in what order, but ideally that's what I'd like to do. So it should really move on the rocket doors. rockets in front. Should really series do something, and should personally I find way to retroactively do something for users who bought the product and who have problems with the work. It lasts a little while, but it ends up letting go and saying yes, but it's cheap. Yeah, so that's it. So it's not expensive. So you have to invest in parts. Because if you have to invest in parts, as said at €320, you also have the Obao Hyper versus a 4S 100 amps, which is the same. You do nothing, you roll, you plug, you roll. It is also a fuse piece, but it costs only €5, the small plastic square in front. After, as I said on the Virus or the Thing or even the Team Magic B8er, you will need at least a 4S to ride. Well, we are immediately on a budget of €50–60 per battery. While they're in threes, well, there is a way to find within 30–35, It's not a big difference either. Yeah, but on 4 batteries, yeah, if you have the budget for 4, you will rather take the bug of the biggest, and you only take 2 batteries. You see where I want to come, so we are a little... I like the look, I like the quick up on the chassis in the center, in the front, the design a little different, but we still have these little French problems there, reliability, breakage. You see, we even looked at the turret behind it starts to flex, because when you get all the way here, you shoot it and we're twisting the turret. Put your life on the line that it won't be long before this affair too. Well, we'll see about that, guys. I'll leave you there. I'm at the Germans and... Normally, if all goes well, you will see a little delirium from IA for the change of voice. I'm John who did this to us in Japanese, Russian, Arabic. Ah, it's not yet at the point. She tells herself a bunch of crap, but it's funky. I know, because I watched the English version, so I know what I'm saying in the French version. When you see what the English says, there are some weird things, but good. Are we going to use IA to make languages? It could be nice. On the other hand, I will have to change my way of speaking because, for example, when we say a 1.8 TT, IA doesn't know that you're talking about all-terrain won't tell you. 1.8, a 1.8 skills of fraud, she'll tell you 1.8 TT, and there the recons are going to be lost. Yeah, say, side it. We'll get censored again, but after that it's the same. No, we have the right to say that the tyres have small pins, and it's not censored either, so it should pass. And then otherwise I'm going to go to YouTube because they have to stop censoring us for anything and everything. I'm tired of the unicorn world. Come on guys, I'll let you go. There is still an advantage to having to go with the GoPro to the editing, is that when you forget something, you can slide in between. Because it stopped normally in French at 8 minutes, and I zapped something. The reason why also the rudder can die, see the brain. PLS, I think that's what happened to you. And, well, it's that from this direction, you see we arrive at the bottom. The rudder here at the bottom, it's empty. The steering at the bottom, everything works. It is also one of the few ridiculous that has a rudder in negative that arrives down. That too is boring. And when you go the other way, look what's happening here. We have the brain arm of the brain rudder. Here we are just in abutment with the direction, but we have the plastic which can abut. That is to say that the safe brain no longer reigns, decanting in your brain. So you have to adjust the dual right. It will force. The problem is that when you set the dual rate so that it doesn't rush too far to the right, well, you've already lost a little turning radius to the left too. And we don't forget, of course, to put the cables differently. That's how we ended the negative review. It's not negative, it's like school, listen, not much can do better. Ah, they will love me? For sure. You don't make this little list, we'll go home. I have direct contact, so they told me there. They wrote us when you have questions. I told them. As I said, I'm not going to write to you when I have questions. It's up to you to write to me when you have questions. Because it's not me who has the problems. They took it well, of course, because when you're talking, the humour comes through much better. Now it's around the Bosch. Ciao the Kiki.